Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. A couple of nights back I was invited into a discussion with the dude himself and his Rottweiler of a legal assistant, Mr. Williamson, Travis. And one of the questions I was asked was, can I recommend any medication for some sort of inflammation or soreness to the testicle region. And at the time I couldn't think of anything, but then yesterday morning it came to my recollection that I had indeed heard of something. And it was actually while Her Royal Highness herself, the Queen of Britain, was visiting Naval Hospital near Bristol. She went into one of the wards. There were 3 gentlemen in 3 beds there, and she went up to the first bed and spoke with the first man in there and said, "Oh dear, what are you in for?" And the naval officer replied, "Your Majesty, I have an extremely bad case of piles." The Queen said, "Oh dear, what a shame. What treatment are you getting for that?" And he said, "Your Majesty, I have 10 minutes every morning with a wire brush." "Oh, very good," she says. And what's your ambition in the Navy?" And he said, "Ma'am, to get better and then to serve Queen and country." "Oh, very good," she said. So she moved to the next bed and said to the second person, "Oh, and what are you in for?" And he said, "Well, actually same as Jim next door. I have rather embarrassingly, a really extreme case of piles." She says, "Oh dear, what treatment do you get for that?" And the guy says, "Well, I get the same. I get 10 minutes every morning with a wire brush." "Oh, very good. And what's your ambition in the army?" And he immediately replied, "Oh, ma'am, to get better and to serve Queen and country." She moved on to the third bed and asked of the gentleman there what he was in for. He said, "Ma'am, I have an extremely bad case of mouth ulcers." "Oh dear," she says, and what treatment do you get for that?" And he said, "Oh, I get 10 minutes every morning with a wire brush." She says, "Oh, very good, very good. And what's your ambition in the Navy?" And he says, "Oh, ma'am, to get the wire brush before the other 2 one morning." Which reminded me that, of course, all of these officers want to serve Queen and country. And this is where the Captain Crunch debate for Erekose really sinks, because every naval ship, every Royal Naval ship has a prefix, HMS. Her Majesty's ship, or in the times when there has been a king on the throne, His Majesty's ship. Okay, that is a prefix of all Royal Navy ships. Dude, HMS. My little butt monkey friend. Let's get that and chew on it. So, what ship does Captain Crunch captain? The SS Guppy. Now already Erekose is confused, because SS he knows as being the Starship Enterprise, and he's thinking, what does SS stand for? Well, it can stand for 2 things. It can stand for either steam ship or sailing ship, but British ships do not use the prefix SS. They use, for the Navy, HMS, and for merchant ships, and again, it doesn't look at all like the Guppy is a merchant ship. It's definitely named after the US naval ships. All that's missing is the USS. I suspect it was originally USS and he simply removed the U and made it SS. SS is a prefix used by the rest of the world, not by British ships. British merchant ships have the word empire in their prefix. And again, this will have confused the dude no end, because empire, he's now thinking Star Wars. You know, we had reference to The Big Lebowski. If you've ever seen The Big Lebowski, there's the scene where Walter turns to Donnie and says, "You wander into the conversation like a child. You have no sort of awareness of what we are discussing." And this is unfortunate for the dude, because that, when it comes to Captain Crunch, that is exactly what our little butt monkey friend is like. So anyway, so I've done a lot of research on this, as I say. The prefix SS is very important. In one of the articles, they really get down to, well, if he's not a member of the US Navy, and there's actually been a spokeswoman who said, we find no record of a Captain Horatio Magellan Crunch ever serving in the US Navy. There's even been suggestions that, well, he could be French, German, Portuguese. But you know what, dude? In all of these articles, never, ever, that means less than once, never, ever do anybody ever suggest that Captain Crunch is British. You are the only person who has ever, in their tiny little dream world mind, come up with this concoction. Now, I know, being the vindictive person you are, you're going to set your Rottweiler, Travis Williamson, back on me. Well, I'm going to be prepared this time, aren't I, dude? HMS. The Guppy is not a HMS. So you can stick that where the sun don't shine. I might leave a couple of links below. I've got a couple in mind. Bye for now.